Welcome, guys, to the first episode of RTX Wheels podcast. Um, in this series, we're going to talk about a lot of car stuff and related subject. And to start our first episode, we're going to talk about the new upcoming models for 2021. With us, we have Julien. Hi.
Hi. Hi, guys.
And we have Francis from RTX Wheels.
Yes. Hi, guys.
So let's start it off. We're going to start obviously with the brand new Bronco from Ford. Really, people are waiting for that car a lot. It's a popular model that is coming back on the market. So Julien, maybe you can start with that.
Well, the Bronco is back. It's been several years. The Bronco was not available in the market anymore. So the Bronco is really, there to compete against the Jeep Wrangler and with several other packaging and several accessories and all that. So the main focus of the new Bronco is really to compete with that niche off-road market of the Jeep Wrangler. So one fun thing is really on the accessory side, Ford's going to bring a lot of accessories because for the Jeep owners, the Wrangler owners, it's a big thing to have all those accessories, those aftermarket parts. So that was always a plus for buying a Wrangler. So Ford is back in the game, bringing back the Bronco. You've got that vintage design, vintage look, I could say, but with some serious off-road capacities, I could say. But one key feature I noticed on this truck, and while I was doing my reviews with the Jeep, it's when you're removing the doors of this new Bronco, it doesn't remove the mirrors. So on the Jeep, when you remove the doors, you need to buy some aftermarket mirrors and put other mirrors to be legal on the road. But with the Bronco, it doesn't remove those mirrors. It can, from my point of view, it's a big improvement. So for some off-road guys, they like to remove those mirrors to be a little bit narrower to really pass through those really tight trail. But I think they did a good job on this new Bronco. Do you guys like it? Do you like that new retro design?
I was about to say that it's actually, I think it's one of the greatest design of the Jeep I saw in a lot of years. Like, I think Bronco, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they didn't produce the Bronco since like 25 years now.
Yeah.
And they just completely crush it. And I didn't even know about the mirror that you just said, the little detail, but I think they focus on little detail and make sure that everything is good for the Bronco to compete against Jeep. Because we know the guy from Wrangler, but we know the guy from Wrangler TJ as well. That's the perfect Jeep, like you said, for off-roading and aftermarket park. And I think the Bronco will really, really compete well against that.
Well, I think it's fun when those big companies, they compete and they're bringing like more horsepower, more this and all that. And that's the case with the new Bronco. Jeep, notice the Bronco is not back with a V8. The Bronco back in the day was available with a V8. And so Jeep, just to give a little response to Ford, they brought back, they're teasing a new model. It's the Jeep Wrangler 392. So that Jeep's going to be equipped with a big V8 6.4 liter. So I like those little things between, companies, you're just offering an EcoBoost, so we're going to bring a big block V8 just to,
Actually good for customer.
Yeah.
Because customer will have a lot of choice, and the nice competition between Ford and Jeep will just continue and add value for customer. So
yeah.
we will, and I think the Ford Bronco, I don't have the number exactly, but I think for the Bronco it start like at 30,000, and you can get a full big version at like 60,000. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, but it's still those Jeeps and all that. There's still a small truck, I drove several, Wrangler, Gladiator, and all that. And every time I'm looking at the price tag, I'm like, oof, it's a lot of money for a square box, I could say.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get a really well-equipped Wrangler, Rubicon, or a Gladiator, Mojave, like the one I've got in my driveway right now. I think sometimes there are 70, 75,000. And just for me, I'm a pickup guy, uh, trading the comfort of the ride of a nice pickup, the nice cabin, the just driving a pickup truck. These days those trucks are really luxurious. When you step in those Wrangler, maybe the Bronco, I haven't drove the Bronco yet. You know, you have to accept the lifestyle of driving these trucks because you're able to remove all those parts. So you sacrifice on the soundproof inside of the cabin, the comfort and all that. So that's always a big sacrifice you need to make when you're purchasing those kind of like off-road convertible truck. But when it's summertime and you're able to remove your roof, your doors and all that, it's just priceless.
Exactly. Yeah. That exactly.
Yeah, so the Bronco is really something that people are looking forward to since it's been out for 25 years, you said. So, like, what's the, we talked a little bit about the price range, but maybe like the models. So you have the Bronco, the normal one, and you have a sport one, right?
Yeah. So the Bronco, you've got two model in the Bronco. You've got a 4-door and a 2-door, and you have a smaller one who's kind of like big, like an Ford Escape. I always make jokes with the Ford guys. I say all the time, these new Bronco Sport looks like a Ford Escape from 2012. The square ones before they were all round and all that. Always make jokes, they're all excited. Oh, we've got the new Bronco Sport. I'm like, oh, is it an Escape from 2012? It's a running joke I make all the time. But the other one is more fuel efficient, smaller package, but still in that off-road, lifestyle. But it's not as capable as the other Bronco.
Is there a big? Is just the 2-door and 4-door? Or is there a big other difference between the Sport and the regular one?
In the big one, you have the 2 doors and the 4-door.
Okay.
And when you can step down to the Bronco Sport, only 4-door. So the Bronco is really the size of a Wrangler, I could say. And the Bronco Sport is about the size of a compact SUV.
Okay. Understand.
Good. So great. So it must be coming out in the summertime, 2021.
Bronco Sport should be in the dealership probably in spring, maybe beginning of summer.
Okay.
Bronco probably end of the summer to be safe, I think. But again, with the situation right now with the COVID and everything, nothing is sure.
Yeah, true. Okay, so we talked a little bit about Jeep, so maybe we could jump right into it to the Jeep Wagoneer. So it's the new model, right?
Yeah, it's a new model. They used to have the model back in the day. So the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is going to be in the large SUV segment. So it's a segment, a couple of years ago was dying, and now it's coming back, with the new Tahoe, Yukon, Escalade, and all that. So it's going to compete against those kind of truck, Expedition, and all that, Suburban. So you're going to have a normal wheelbase, I could say, and also a long wheelbase of this truck. So it's been a long time, people buy Jeeps or Ram or, FCA products, Chrysler products are waiting for a large SUV bigger than the Durango. And I think they're going to respond to that demand with the Grand Wagoneer.
And I think I saw a couple of pictures of the Grand Wagoneer, and it seems to be very, very luxury interior as well.
Yeah, but
something different with that one.
Yeah, but right now it's a concept, so there's a lot of screens and all that. It's all fancy. They say it's pretty close to the production model, but I'm not sure it's gonna be, the same inside because you've got screen pretty much everywhere in front of the driver, in the middle, in front of the side, everywhere. There's like a screen. It's pretty crazy. Not sure if it's legal, but in the Cadillac Escalade now, you've got a 38 you got a 38 inches a curve screen in front of you. It's a pretty big screen. I drove it the other day, and it's legal. You're not able to look at your phone, but a big
38
curve screen. Oh, that's good.
Great. And the other one that is pretty a beast, I could say, the Ram 1500 TRX.
Yeah, that's
I can see sparkle in your eyes, Julien, because you love pickup trucks.
Yeah, as a previous Raptor owner, it's been a while. I was waiting for something to compete seriously against the Raptor, and that's pretty much what, again, Ram been doing. And again, FCA, they love their V8s and they like to tease Ford. So instead of putting a V6 twin turbo, just like in the Raptor, they put the Hellcat engine. You got 702 horsepower. It's the most powerful pickup truck off-road. You can say a high-speed off-roader on the market. So it's pretty much, to do some off-road at high speed in the desert. You've got a lot of traveling in the suspension. One key thing, about this truck, as a truck owner, off-road and all that, you got a lifetime warranty on the shocks of the suspension. So that was a big thing for the Raptor owners. A lot of times when they were doing some harsh off-roading, they were damaging those shocks. But on the TRX, it's not a problem. They're warranted.
Yeah, the warranty, but I think the price tag is pretty high, though.
Pretty high, but I think it's a pretty complete truck. When you see it in photos and videos and all that, it seems like a pretty cool truck. But I saw it this week. I saw it a couple of days ago in person for the first time. And in person is just a beast. It looks really like an exotic truck. I could say most people, when they're gonna see a Raptor on the road, if you don't really know your truck, you won't really notice the Raptor. Maybe if you're into cars and trucks, but if you're just the average Joe, looking at the Raptor, you won't see a big difference between an F-150 and an F-150 Raptor. But if you see a TRX on the road, you'll know it's something special.
So and I think they can tow pretty well as well. Like 8,000, I think they can tow.
Yeah, it's the thing is with these trucks, they have a lot of power, but due to their suspension, with a lot of traveling, they're always limited for the amount of weight they're able to tow. So maybe the frame and the powertrain would be capable to tow maybe 12,000, 13,000. But in this case, for the Raptor and the TRX, you're limited with the suspension. But the TRX can tow more than the Raptor. Not sure what would be the fuel economy while towing with the TRX, but
you can have motor in it. Yeah.
Great. Before we jump into the next one, I just want to make sure. So the price tag will be in the 80,000, something like that, or more?
No, I think I saw like more than 100 USD actually.
It depends because
the options and everything.
Yeah. They have a launch edition, it's like fully equipped, and it's a limited edition. That's the one. I think base price it's around 90,000 USD, so probably around 105 Canadian, something like that.
Well, not cheap.
Not cheap.
All right. So for the last one, I think we can talk about the Kia Seltos.
Yep.
Yes.
I drove the Seltos this summer. I did a head-to-head against the new Chevrolet Trailblazer. It's a pretty cool new SUV. Again, they call it the subcompact SUV segment.
I think it's price tag like just under the 30,000 bar. So I think that could be good in the market. But I need to know better about the Kia Seltos because I really don't really like the design actually.
Well, the design, it depends. I think Kia has been doing a lot of new design. They're really more aggressive, more futuristic. I think overall, the Kia is really well equipped. inside it feels luxurious. It feels modern. Um, I don't know if you saw that the speaker, the shape of the speaker, the cover of the speaker, it's really like a modern, like kind of like a modern sculpture. It's really cool that you have to see it. Like if you can show up an image of the actual speaker, you can feel like the interior. Like it's really special. You know, this Seltos is really well balanced for the price. Super well equipped. You have like heated seats in the back, and you have some crazy equipment you won't find for the same price. But the one thing I didn't like about the Seltos is the Seltos doesn't have a real transmission. It doesn't have a CVT. It's got a twin clutch, but it's it's kind of like it's not like a fancy twin clutch you're gonna find in the Audi. It's a Kia cheap SUV twin clutch, and sometimes this transmission can be funky. I talk with other auto journalists about it. We don't like it. We find it really dangerous. One time, the transmission kind of like miss a gear in the middle of like a big intersection when I was driving it. So maybe it's something they need to improve or something they need to change. I could say the Seltos overall, it's almost a perfect subcompact SUV, but that transmission is a big flaw.
And the Seltos will compete with against what actually, like in the small mid SUV segment?
Yeah, something like the Chevrolet Trailblazer, the same thing as the Buick one. Could say maybe the I think it's the Hyundai Kona. Small SUVs like that, you know, it's a little bit yeah, it's a little bit smaller than a Ford Escape. I always use the Escape as the gauge, but it's. I think it's going to compete also against the Ford EcoSport. I think the EcoSport is a little bit smaller. So you know, these segments are really, you know, they put those cars in that segment, but sometimes a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and but they're really, you know, the perfect urban, you know, daily driver, I could say. Easy to park, good size, you know, good trunk. You got some clearance also. You can have the all-wheel drive for winter time. So they're one of the most popular, you know, cars on the market right now, especially here in Canada.
Good. And before we close it off, maybe I know there's cars coming up too, brand new models and things like that. Maybe you could talk about the some of them.
So coming up, you know, what's really exciting to see. We know the Homer EV is coming up
Yes.
pretty soon. I think GM's going to do a big statement about you know, their electric program. So this truck's going to have like 1,000 horsepower, 10,000 of torque. He's got those crawling, the crab walk. You know, the wheels are really going on the side, so you can go sideways. You can remove the roof. You can do a lot of stuff. You're gonna do like a crazy 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. All that they're claiming it's gonna be the first super truck.
Well,
Yeah.
Let's do an episode just around the Hummer EV after that little tease.
Yeah, the Hummer EV, I think they're really serious about it. I saw some footage of the prototype running in Detroit right now. I talk also with the head engineer of the Hummer. It seems like a really good program. And one cool thing about the Hummer, half of the Corvette team, they took pretty much half of the Corvette team who developed the new Corvette, the new C8, and they put those guys on the Hummer program. So that's why it's pretty cool, like the Corvette. And if you pay attention to the inside of the Hummer, it's the lunar team. So inside it's just like it feels like you're on the moon. So where you put your foot, it's just like the same as the boots of an astronaut. There's little things like that, but it's pretty cool.
yeah. Well, Great. So we're gonna talk eventually about the electric, like you talked about the Hummer EV and other, because there's plenty of electric cars. The market is growing. So obviously we're gonna talk about that in an upcoming episode. So for this one, it was great. We talked about a lot of upcoming cars that people are waiting for. So yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good one, guys.